everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Amber Rose, also known as the Religious Hippie. You can basically follow me on any social media platform, or you can go straight to my website at thereligioushippie.com. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. It's almost Christmas, which is absolutely insane to me. I feel like this year has just flown by so quickly. I feel like we say that about every year, but this year specifically, I don't know what it is, but it feels like that, right? But because of the holidays, I decided to do a few fun videos instead. I had a Christmas themed video that I wanted to go up this week, but unfortunately, because of just some unforeseen circumstances, that never ended up happening. So is that one going to be late and after Christmas? Maybe. We'll see if I even post it at all. We'll find out. I don't know. But without further ado, we're going to go over your guys' assumptions about me today. So grab your beverage of choice and let's begin. We're gonna scroll to the bottom and we're gonna see what we have here. Okay, so our first one is from Anna. I don't know. I'm sorry if I butcher your names in advance in this video. You are actually shy in real life, confident only on videos. So I've actually gained a lot of confidence over the last couple years of doing this ministry and giving in-person talks and all the crazy stuff like that. I will say I am still very shy in groups, more or less because I try to guard my heart as opposed to actually being introverted or shy. I am an introvert. In order to recharge, I do need to be away from people. So that is a part of it. But I'm not shy in the way where it gets in the way of me meeting new people or anything like that. I'm usually just really observant when I'm around people. I look at people, I observe things, I observe situations, groups, whatever. And then I kind of decide whether or not I'm like, oh, I'd fit in with this group, or maybe I have something to add to that conversation. But I wouldn't say I'm necessarily shy. It's more of just observant. But that's a very good guess, 100%. Under the Cloak of Shadows says, you have more rosaries than you know what to do with. Yes, I have been gifted rosaries probably, well, a lot. I've just been gifted rosaries a lot, but I never turned down a rosary gift because what I've been doing is I've been packing them away and putting them in my hope chest for my future kids to give away either on the day that they're accepted into religious life or their marriage day, whatever it might be. That is what I am planning to do with them. So I have them all packaged up and everything, and I have who sent it to me, if it's blessed or not, which even if they aren't blessed, I go and get them blessed anyways. And then any little story or prayer cards that were sent with the rosary, and then I put it away for hopefully a future child. RKD042390 says, you fill up on deviled eggs before actual Thanksgiving dinner. I actually am not a huge fan of eggs. And this is probably confusing for a lot of people who follow me on Instagram and see that I literally eat a hard-boiled egg like every morning for breakfast. I don't actually like the taste of eggs. Actually, it kind of makes me a little nauseous, and I usually have to eat them with something like sausage or a toast or something. I don't know what it is about the yolk specifically, but it just does not, I do not like it. However, they are extremely healthy for you, like very, very healthy for you. And back when my parents had chickens, we had fresh eggs like every single day. And I will say they do taste a lot different than store eggs. So do with that information what you will. However, I'm still not a big egg fan. I usually have to eat it with something to disguise the flavor. I literally just eat it for the benefits. Mr. Bronze Welding says, you have French ancestry. I do. French Canadian specifically. I'm sorry, I don't know. I assume you think seed oils are the work of the devil. I don't think they're the work of the devil, but I mean, I don't think they're good for you. Jose says, you've never traveled outside the USA. That is true. I have never been to another country yet. I am hoping to. It's just so expensive. Honestly, that's really what it comes down to, is just the cost. I just can't rationalize going out of the country, with the cost of everything. Jose also says you're learning French. I am. I mean, on the side here or there. I've actually picked up quite a lot of it just from my husband, but I also watch some French cartoons and I do Duolingo. So yeah. Owl's probably going to kill me one day because I haven't been doing it, but You will never watch or read any of the Game of Thrones books. Correct. I will not, because I think they're awful and full of horrible, horrible things. They're very graphic, very sexual. Not good stuff to be putting in our minds. Fred says you give off tall girl vibes. I don't, unfortunately. When people meet me in real life, they realize how short I actually am. And by short, I mean average. I'm 5'5". Like, that's average height for a woman. Sometimes I'm 5'6" on a good day. But usually people just think I'm tall because I wear heels to make up for the lack of tallness I have. So there's that. You were bad at punctuation, spelling, and grammar. That is correct. I am, but I am getting better at it, despite what people might think. If you guys go and watch my old videos, you guys would probably be like, oh my gosh, who is she? Because my grammar back then was not the best. My husband has really helped me a whole lot with that. That's kind of an insecurity I have from homeschooling and a few other things growing up that I really haven't talked about yet, and I'm not really comfortable talking about just yet. But yeah, I'm still working on that. Okay, Leah Marie says, you love creating Catholic content, but maybe you feel trapped in it sometimes. It's kind of hard because there are times where I'm like, oh, I would love to talk about this topic, or I'd love to like branch out more into this other area. But unfortunately, those things never seem to stick. Catholicism is really the one topic that I have stuck with this entire time, the one thing that I'm really passionate about. And obviously it's my faith, I'm going to be, right? But there have been times where I have felt stuck. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? I feel like I've already covered everything. Like, what else could I possibly do? But the nice thing about the Catholic Church is there's so much information. We cannot possibly exhaust the information of the Catholic Church in our lifetime. There is so much information out there, so many topics you can discuss, so many different perspectives to go over, so many conversion stories to hear. And for me, when I realized like, oh, you know what, actually there's a lot more than just the surface level understanding of it, and being able to dive a little bit deeper than just like the basics of talking about confession and the sacraments and devotions and things, you know, really diving into people's stories, getting into even some more controversial and hot button topics, not in a negative way like some YouTubers or some Twitter users do, but instead trying to approach it from a more supportive and joyful mindset. Been my newest stim, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I have felt trapped previously, but then I broke out of that and I realized I'm like, wow, there's just so much here. And you know, I still do my day in the life vlogs. I still do those, but those are exhausting to film. I think I've talked about that before, where it's like carrying a camera with me everywhere and pressing record is not my first instinct when it comes to doing a task. And it makes a lot of tasks a lot harder when you have to carry around a big camera and film everything, make sure the angle's right, make sure that there's light coming in so they can see, make sure that it's not too grainy on the film, which I fail usually at all those things because it's just a lot of work. Yeah, I think, you know, I have a good variety of different things that I kind of cover, and so far I feel like it's been pretty good. Sometimes it's a little dry here or there, but you know, that's just with anything really. If you guys have made it this far into the video, comment God is great. Lottie says, you prefer air drying to blow drying your hair. That is true. Blow drying just makes my hair really frizzy, and I know people are like, oh, well, you're not doing it correctly. It's just, air drying is so much easier. It doesn't make my arms hurt. It's true. Ron says, you are a very caring person. I'd like to think I am. I try to go out of my way to be the person who I needed in my times of need for other people. Did that make sense? I don't know. I do try to be. I fall short in a lot of ways, but I do try to be. Brent, you pray the rosary every day. I try. Again, I fall short, but I try. Faustina says, you struggle with doom scrolling sometimes, just like most of us young people. So this is actually something I do not struggle with, which is a blessing because I know that there are so many people out there who do struggle with this. I do not struggle with this. Thank goodness. And part of that is because I feel like because my job is online, I then don't use it as an escape, because if I'm on social media or I'm filming or I'm on YouTube or whatever, usually it's for work. So I'm only on the app for as long as I need to post something, write a description, post something on stories, respond to maybe a couple comments here or there. But I don't really have the time to be scrolling through social media. Now, does that mean I don't? I mean, I do sometimes, for sure. I scroll through reels at times to find sounds. I scroll through Twitter once in a while, just on my followed, just to see what people are up to. But I've never really had an issue with scrolling to escape situations or scrolling into negative content so much that it starts affecting me. And I'm just too busy for that. And I think that there are a lot of people who do that, and their time could be better spent, you know, doing hobbies or something. It's hard, right? It's easier said than done, but I think your time could be better spent doing more productive things, whatever that might be. You know, I play guitar and I sing for my emotions. If I'm having strong emotions, that's how I've always been. I've always played guitar and I've always sung in order to express my emotions. If I'm, you know, really upset about something, that's something I've always done. Since I was a teenager, it was an emotional outlet for me, and it continues to be one. I feel like a lot of people just don't have a healthy emotional outlet like that. And for some people, it's painting and drawing or, going for a walk, working out. For me, it's music. But there are a lot of different things that your time could be better spent doing. So it's hard though. I feel for you guys who are stuck doing that. Natalie says, you are an only child. I am not. I actually have an older sister. Jesu says, you'd be barefoot 24/7 if you could. Correct. I would. Janine Marie says, you love to cook. Kind of. I like the idea of cooking until I actually do it. I feel like I just haven't really done it a whole lot yet, and it's something that I'm trying to get better at. Max and I love cooking together. That's a lot of fun, and I do like cooking when I know what I'm doing and there's a process and like I know how it's going to turn out. But when it's cooking and you're experimenting, I'm a little more frustrated on that side of things because I feel like, if I'm putting all this time and effort into a dish or a dessert or something, I want it to turn out well. And granted, that's just not how life works. I understand that, right? But sometimes it just gets really frustrating and I just have no patience for cooking, but I am getting better at that. So EMC says doesn't like watching sports, especially football. Correct. I mean, I don't mind football. I prefer baseball, even though people say it's more boring than football. If it's a communal thing, I think it's a little bit different. I'll watch it if I have friends over who are watching it or something like that, but I'm not a sports person. Selena says, you really want children, especially a boy. True. Fatima says, you really like iced coffee. That is true. I do love iced coffee. Unfortunately, I might have to cut it out permanently, and we're going to have to rebrand this entire thing, and I'm very bummed about that. But we'll see. No, I can't talk about it all that much just yet because we don't have all the answers. So yeah. Paul says, you like marshmallows in your hot cocoa. That is true. Usually there's more marshmallows in my hot chocolate than hot chocolate. It's kind of like how there's more honey in my tea than there is tea. That's just the way I roll. I don't know why. I just got a sweet tooth. BB says, I've only seen a good handful of your videos, but I reckon you have a geeky side. Define geeky. Because there are some things that I'm very passionate about, but I'm not a computer nerd. I don't really like a lot of nerdy stuff. Like, I don't want to label anyone either if they're into that type of thing. I don't know. I read. It's not really a geeky thing though. I'm going to go with no on that one. I don't know. Sabat says, you're pregnant. No, sadly. And our last one is Benji, and he says, you drink iced coffee more than water. No, actually, now I drink a lot more tea than I do water. Like I said, still trying to figure out all those health things that are going on. But I do drink a lot of tea. I probably drink upwards of maybe 6 or 7 cups of tea a day now, which is like liquid, so it's great, but I still need to drink water. So there's that. But anyways, that's all the assumptions I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this little silly video. Again, I want to do more silly videos, fun videos like this. If you guys have ideas for that, put them in the comments below. But yeah, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do some silly little videos, kind of take a break from what we usually do. Obviously, there are going to still be videos coming out. I have 3 specifically that I have planned that I think you guys are really going to love. But with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye!